Okay, Namaste. I've been preparing since last night and also all day today. It is probably, 6 o'clock, 6:30 in Texas time. Okay, anyhow, this is a reading for a Taurus. Her name is Edie, and I am starting your reading now. Okay, sorry about the messy table, but I do paint, and those are my cookies for when I get hungry. Anyway, I'm going to start with my prayers, and hope you don't mind. Sometimes it's a heavy prayer day, but I've been meditating actually all day, and that's why I go nuts. I start to go crazy after a while. But I'm going to light my Mary candle because I just realized I didn't light it yet, but I did light my two types. That is either Palo Santo incense, or it is frankincense and myrrh. Okay, either way, it's still good. And that is white sage, and then those are my Palo Santo sticks right there. And Devin gave me the clear to do it. I was supposed to do it earlier today, but then he just told me, because he knows I'm a procrastinator, and he said, this is your work, so you burn it if you have to. So that was nice. I hope it doesn't hurt him, but I definitely need it. It's better if I have it. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to get started with my prayers. And also, happy birthday. Today is your actual birthday. Happy birthday to my Taurus friend, Edie. I hope you have, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. And again, I'm so sorry that it takes me so long to get it going, but I promise you, I think you'll like your reading. I always hope. Let me get the paint out of the way. Why do I have paint? Because I'm a painter. So, it just went to fall. It just wanted to fall. I usually have one side of the table painting and one side of the table cards, but sometimes I switch it up because I'm a nut job. Okay, here we go. Let's clear the energy. Please, dear God, help me in this reading. Thank you, dear God. Thank you, Spirit Guides. And thank you. Okay. Let me just light this up. They just told me put it on this side. I don't know why. I guess they want you to see that angel right there. I'm going to turn it around to me because, I'm a narcissist. But I like you to see the smoke when I'm doing the prayers. And I'm listening to Jason Stevenson, as usual. Kicking it old school. Jason Stevenson opened up meditation music for your third eye. And here we go. Please, dear God, bless me, my family, and my home, my car, and anyone else who views my videos. Thank you. Please, dear God, and Jesus, allow Archangel Michael to protect me, my home, my family, and anyone who views my videos. Thank you, Archangel Michael. Thank you, dear God. This reading is protected in God's light and love. No mischievous energies are allowed here. In Jesus' name, amen. I drown my soul in the blood of Jesus and protection of God and all the archangels. Okay. And now, if some of you who have been following me old school, you will recognize this. Okay. These are my old prayers. God protects me and fights my battles. No weapon formed in spirit or physical shall prosper. In Jesus' name, amen. We got to be prayed up in today's world, dear everybody, Mr. Brady Bunch, because yeah, it's a rough world. It's getting tougher. Okay, return to sender anything that has been sent my way that is mischievous. Please, God bless, protect all who watch my videos with the healing love and white light protection shield. I don't know if you remember this. I made these myself. Protection shield and body, mind, and spirit. In the name of Jesus, please protect me, my family, and those who I read for. In Jesus' name, thank you, dear God. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, dear God. Thank you, divine. Thank you, Jesus, of course. Dear God and Jesus, angels, archangels, and spirit guides, please bless and protect this space. Only allow in messages that are from the highest good. I ask that you ensure only pure and trustworthy answers from the divine. Oh, that's definitely an old school one. In Jesus' name, amen. I made these, which I already said. Sorry. I repeat myself a lot. Sorry. And this is done on an old thank you card, circa 2019, or maybe even sooner than that. Dear God and Jesus and my spirit guides, guardian angels, please bring in the spirits for my client, Edie, that will help answer questions in the best interest of my client. Please allow my client, Edie, to ask, I think I meant to get the answers and guidance in your divine time, God's time. Okay. Sorry, this is a mess. Give them peace and solace. Thank you, dear God. Thank you, Jesus and angels. Thank you, archangels. Thank you, universe. Anything mischievous needs to leave right now, and you are not welcome here. Anything mischievous, I don't want you here. This is my house. This is my home. If you are not of the light, you are not welcome here. Please don't make any noise. This is my home, and I need to feel safe here. Thank you, dear God. Oh, that's an old one. I haven't read that one in a long time. Yes, I used to have some mischievous spirits. Okay, I ask that the messages I receive be clear and easy to understand. Please help me see, feel, hear, and know the messages that you have for us. I ask that this card reading and intuitive reading bring blessings to everyone involved. And I ask that the cards that I use be blessed from the divine. I ask that this card reading be loving and blessing and bring answers, blessings and answers, as well as good protection to anyone who listens. Amen. That was hard to get through because basically I can't read my writing. That's okay. Let me take a sip of coffee. Okay. I receive good health, abundance, and prosperity, and protection from all evil. Protection, God, Jesus, and all the archangels daily. They give me protection. Basically, I think that's what I was trying to say. For all seasons, guaranteed, winter, spring, summer, and fall. Right now, it's spring. Forevermore, I pray this in Jesus' name. Hallelujah. Amen. Thank you, dear God. Thank you, archangels. Thank you, spirit guides and universe. This is for my spiritual team: God, Jesus, Mother Mary, Layla Guadalupe, Mommy and Daddy, Suzanne, Shanann, Shawn Michael, Rispoli, Gannon, JJ and Tylee, Patrick Brady, Jonathan, Sam, Grace, John, Lily, and the Nameless. Yeah, those are all my spirit guides. And there's probably more. If you're into your spirit guides and you want to know who your spirit guides are, you just have to sit in a meditative state and just say their name. If you don't know their name, just say, Spirit guides, please protect me. Spirit guides, please show me a sign that you're around me. Spirit guides, please let me know what to do. Or you could just ask God. God, could you show me yourself or your spirit guides or my guardian angels that I need? Okay. And just this one. I'm a warrior of God. I work in Jesus' white light of heaven. I am protected at all times. All times, 24/7, 365. My spirit guides are with me, 24/7, 365. God is always with me, loving me, forgiving me, helping me. And He's with you too. He's with everybody. I like how that goes in the smoke and gets cleansed. Okay. All right, that's it. Is that it? Yeah. I have a closing prayer, but I don't need it. I just say it in my head. When I feel like there's somehow, something got into my aura, then I take out the prayers. I take out the old-fashioned, kick it old school. But otherwise, my mother used to always say that, because I would say, I forgot how to say a Hail Mary or Our Father, or I'm forgetting words. And she would say, that's okay. You can always, because we didn't have Google back then. She would say, if you're in bed and everything all tucked in, you can just always say a prayer to God, because God will listen to children first. And it doesn't have to be a structured prayer. It could just be from your heart. Okay, and I live my life by that, what my mother told me about that. Okay. Are we ready to go? Okay, or can I procrastinate anymore? Okay. All right, so this time I'm going to do it a little bit differently. Yes, I said that your birthday is today, Edie. When you had told me, all right, let me just turn this around. And this, that's too close. Sorry about all the makeup, but I was I'm wearing green, and so I want to experiment with a lot of green. And Devin told me I look like Clown Posse. I look like the lady from the Drew Carey show. I said, that is a severe insult. He goes, that's what you look like. That's what he hates. He hates when I wear a lot of makeup, but I have fun with it. And what he also hates is when I fill in my eyebrows with my mascara, because then it's not natural, because, half my eyebrows are gray, and he likes it that way. But I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. Anyway, he told me that I'm a clown posse today. But anyway, what I wanted to say is to you, Edie, is, let me just get to your page, because that's how I focus in. And I also saw your picture. Thank you so much for sending me all the information. In terms of your picture, And in terms of your name, when you first gave me your name, I was like, I don't think that's her full name. And then you said you had changed it officially. So it used to be Edith. So I was picking up on that. But, you know, that's, people could say that's not a stretch, you know, that's like, but I just felt like, sorry, awkward. Okay. So let me just get to the right page. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that I started to add something else. So I have some pages ripped out, and I don't want to mix this up with... Who's Brian? Who's Brian? I just saw Brian. Oh no, okay. Alright, that's for the medical. Okay. So I'm going to do this mixed up, alright? Usually I would do my notes first, and then the last reading I decided to, they told me to flip it over and do some of the cards first, and then I ended up doing my notes last. But this time I'm going to do a little bit of both. So I already have cards out, and do you like my earrings? The first time I'm wearing them. Okay. The pearls are supposed to be bubbles, I think, coming out of the... Anyhow, it's not about me. Sorry about that. Okay. So you were born 5/18, and I know a little bit of numerology. I used to do it a lot back in the day, but now I just do a little tiny bit to tell you what your destiny number is, what year you're in, what year you're going into, and then that's it. Then I back up away from the numerology. Just like astrology, numerology is just a tool, just like astrology is just... I wouldn't base a readings totally on you being a Taurus, because then I wouldn't be feeling your energy. I wouldn't be totally feeling, you know, what's going on around you and with you, if I would just base it totally generically, generalized on your sign. Do my eyes look like they're red? Because I think it's the green hitting the blue and the white of my eyes looking red. Or maybe they're just red. I don't know. I'm freaking myself out today. I really am. I am a total freak. Okay? And so that's who I am. Alright, anyhow. But I'm a nice freak. I'm not a bad freak. I'm just a freaky, weird, type of odd person. Okay? But I have a gift, so I'm going to use it. I am going to use it. I'm a bad... this is a regular video because I didn't want to open up my energy to anything else, because I really I do suffer with ADD and undiagnosed, and only diagnosed by myself, and unmedicated. So if I opened it up to do a live, other people's energy would come in, and I'd be able to ignore it for a little while like I did for the last reading. But today I'm in a weird place where I tried to start the video so many times, and I couldn't do it, so I wasn't ready. And Devin said, just sit down with your book, because I write notes, and that helps me meditate. And he was like, do your notes, do your research, do your notes. And sometimes it's just writing your name down over and over again, or somebody around you, or listening to my music. Okay, burning my incense. It's all a part of my process. So I apologize in advance for jumping all over the place. So numerology wise, so you were born on the 18th, which comes out to a 9. All right, so 9 is endings, but and sometimes that'll mean something to you, like the 18th, and then really coming out to a 9. But I don't focus on that number as much as I do. Your destiny number is 35, which comes out to an 8. Which, do you find that sometimes, Edie, you have to feel control in your life, in your family, in your relationships, in your career? Because you have a destiny number 8. And I have the same one, and my 2 kids have that too. My daughter was 8 pounds 8 ounces and born on the 8th. Okay, so I know all about 8. But you have a destiny number of 8, meaning having control in your life will be important to you. But also, here's the good part of being 8. You will never be without money. Like, if you have a period of time where money is not available, then all of a sudden it will be available. Because when you have an 8 in your destiny number, it's like inheritance come your way. Job opportunities come your way. You leave one job and another one will come. As long as you don't, like, I felt like one of your questions was about a job, or your career that maybe you were doing for a long time, and will you get back into it because you're having like I want to say carpal tunnel. I know you said you might have been diagnosed with Parkinson's, and that's a question we will talk about a little bit later because I have loads of notes on that too. But having control of your job situation, your living situation, it's very important to you. Okay, destiny number 8. Sometimes we just go to a job or force ourselves to stay in the field because we know what hours we can do it. We know how much money we're going to get, and we just always been doing it. Okay, so but I do feel like you're supposed to stay in your field because you are a healer. That was one of the things that came up very quickly, and I wrote it down. Healer. As far as singing, you could be in the choir. You could do that if you want, but the healing part is more important. I see that as being your mission. Your mission is not over. Like, they're showing me numbers. I don't know if you're a numbers person, but they just showed me like she has at least 25 to 28 more people to heal. So I'm feeling the energy of you helping hundreds of people in your lifetime, helping hundreds of people, but you have at least 25 to 28 people to come that you're going to touch base with. And you might say, how am I going to do that, Katrina, if I can't use my hands? And they're showing me carpal tunnel, because I had that before in my life. And I am going to tell you, affirmations and color therapy, and I am not a doctor, of course, but I'm going to tell you what I did. But let me just roll into it slowly because I have a process. Okay, so your destiny number is 8, so that has to do with control, that has to do with money flowing to you, but also you do worry about it because you are a Taurus, right? It doesn't matter. Leave your problems in God's hands. Do more meditation, and you probably do already in your field, because I think are you a Reiki massage therapist? Because I saw Reiki. I think you said massage therapist. But I see Reiki coming in. And they go twofold. Okay, so you need more healing yourself. You need to get massages, Reiki healings, because they will tell you what chakras, your chi, where your chi is. Let me turn this down a little bit because it's really stringent. when our body is out of alignment, and if you turn on any of my videos, mostly all my videos, especially art gallery, or when I'm discussing art, or I'm discussing unboxing of my art supplies, or I'm talking about my artwork, my healing art that I sell. There's a food that we're not getting. There's a color that we're not wearing enough. There is a sensory, this music that we're not listening to enough. All of that is healing, okay? And of course, of the right foods and the right vitamins and medicine. I'm not telling anybody to not take their medicine or go to the doctors, but sometimes doctors want to give you prescription pills. And yeah, they could be helpful, right? But they also have side effects. You know what doesn't have side effects? Colorology. You know what doesn't have side effects? Reiki. Chiropractors. Okay? Sometimes you feel a little bit worse and then you feel better. And you always have to go back. But we have to align our chakras. And that's what I see with you. And yes, you are not done. No, you are not done with your mission. Okay, but what is coming into play is there might be a big change in your position. And you might say, I don't know if I could do that. I just want to do what I was doing, for 20 years or 30 years, right? And God is saying, no, you can do that, what you were doing. I'll help you to do that, but I want you to also do this. So you might have to get a certificate, you might have to go for training, or you might just have to meditate on it. For some reason, I see you in a yoga studio. Okay, so that's what is coming into my mind, and that's great. It looks like a yoga studio. I'm not sure if it's yoga that's going on or Pilates, but it's just very peaceful. And it's like, when you like, some people are at the airport and they have a light bulb that goes off. Some people are at work or on the bus or driving and a light bulb goes off and they're like, I know what I want to do. I know what I can do, or I want to do it, but physically, or I don't have the money for it, or physically I feel like I can't do it right now. So that will be cleared up. You will clear up, because having problems with your hands, or even Parkinson's, and again, I'm not, this is allegedly, this is in my opinion, all right? I'm not saying it's 100%, because my sister has Parkinson's, right? And she takes medicine and stuff. She doesn't really want to listen to me when I tell her about the chakras. She just, I've given her stuff. She'll listen to videos, like, I'll give her, well, she used to, I don't know if she does it anymore, because she probably hates me, but, she used to listen. I would send her color therapy videos that were good for the brain, because Parkinson and tremors. I'm getting a tremor, like, not me. I feel like you have a tremor, and when I was meditating, and if you don't, just tell me, Katrina, what are you talking about? Don't make me paranoid. No, but I just saw your hand shake a little bit, okay? And then you're very thin in your legs. So if you build up your muscles, maybe more protein, and build up your muscles in your legs, that could be very good for you too. Okay, so yeah, and walking, and like, even if you have to use a walking stick, if you don't feel like safe by walking, then just walk in your house with a stick, a walking stick or a cane. But just using those muscles, and adding protein, maybe a little ice cream. My sister used to call her legs frog legs. But anyhow, that might help. Okay? Again, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on YouTube. Okay, so sorry. But yeah, they were like, Is she done with her mission? No, she is not. And then they keep on showing me 25 to 28 people. And I really want you, if you don't know who she is now, I want you to look into Louise Hay. Louise Hay is, like who I started following, her books and affirmations and color therapy in the 80s when I was like 21 years old and 20, 21, and that's when I first saw her book. And I was like, oh my gosh, this book is going to change me. But I didn't understand how it would, so I just read it on the bus and, that and the Color Purple book. But Louise Hay has everything, and I looked it up today when I was meditating on you. I looked up different things that might help you. Okay, so you are in this year in 2026, you are in a 6-year. 6-year is pastel colors, everything to do with pastel colors. What does that mean? Immerse yourself in pastel colors. Walking on the beach or being around water is really important during a 6-year. Your relationship is very important because usually people fall in love or back in love again in a 6-year. Or if you're single, but I know you're married, okay? But in 2027, you're in a 7-year, and that's a spiritual teacher year. So that's why I'm saying, like, you might not see what your mission is or what's going on in 2026. So you might feel like, oh, I had different things, wrong, different medical issues, and you're waiting and not sure if you're going to get back to it. Sorry, I was just trying to put my music back on, and there's always commercials. But in 2027 and coming out of 2026, you will see what the plan is for you. And you'll have, I'm not saying, in life, there's always like, oh, but I have to have, a tooth extracted, or I have to, and that puts you down for a couple of weeks, or I have to have surgery on my hand, and that puts you out for, a month. But the whole thing is, you never stop learning, you never stop like making those connections, because you have to be in this place that kind of looks like a yoga studio, because that's where you're going to make a connection with somebody's going to say, oh, you know how to do that? Oh, that's what I've been looking for, somebody that knows how to do that. And you might say, well, I can't really use this hand right now because I'm having problems, but I know how to use this hand, or I can talk somebody through it, or you might end up teaching somebody or teaching a few people. So it's just like, just say, God, please put me in the place that I need to be at so that I can continue the mission that you gave me. Okay. What I'm trying to say in a very drawn out, weird type of way is that you're going to feel like you understand your mission clearer in 2027, because 2027 you're in a 7-year. Okay, and the way I get that is you add up 5 plus 18 plus 2027. Okay, and you get 25. Right now it's a 24, which equals 2 and 4 is 6, and that's why you're in a 6-year. Okay, so moving away from that, I spent way too much time on that, and I don't, like I said before, I don't really feel numerology is the whole picture. Okay, it's just a little drop in the bucket. Okay, so Edie, you are a healer. Okay, that's one of the first things that I wrote down. Okay, healer, and it just like popped out, and I was like, okay, and then I didn't write anything. I didn't write anything, and then until like started to write down your questions. What I do is I write down the questions, and then I just do like kind of automatic writing, whatever comes out. And then sometimes I get my Louise Hay book and I look up affirmations that would be helpful for you. Okay. So, okay, God just told me, start with the notes, just these 2 pages of notes, and then I'm going to do the cards. Are we doing good on time? Yes, we're doing very good. Okay, so health and career. You had asked about health and your career and your mission. Okay, so I saw there was some conflict, or what you would view as a lot of conflict, in your career because of your health, in your job and your mission because of your health. Because if you can't utilize your hands and you have to rest, then you feel like you're not doing what God wants you to do. But that's not true. That's not true. He wants you to be healthy, but he wants you to open your mind to another skill that he's trying to give you. And you say, I want to do this because you're Taurus minded. And being Taurus and Virgo and Capricorn, we kind of always well, I did this when I was 20 and 30 and 40 and 50 and 60, so I'm going to continue with that. And I'm the same way. I am definitely the same way. But sometimes God will do things and give us a mission. Sorry, I had to flash my green ring because I told you this morning I woke up and I needed to wear my green shirt and this ring and the green makeup. I don't know why. Is it St. Patrick's Day? Okay. Do you have something to do with St. Patrick's Day? Anyhow, so he's trying to show you another field. It's the same, like he's telling me, because I go, well, what is it? Is it Reiki? Is it massage? He's like, it's the same field, but with an add-on, with another. Basically, what he's telling me now is that it's in the massage, Reiki, I can never say that right, Reiki area. Oh. Now, you have to understand, with Reiki, you don't even have to touch anybody. So you can your hands are over their body. Your hands are a little bit like 6 inches away from their body. And he's saying, you are very psychic. Who's Tom? Tom says he must be one of the people you asked about. He's in heaven. He says, I always told you were psychic. I always thought you were psychic. Okay. Yeah. So your spirit guides and God and everybody and Tom want you to use your psychic ability. And you have it. So your psychic ability and your ability to do Reiki means that you're over the body. You don't have to really use your hands. You don't have to push down, because that's wear and tear. That can cause, the carpal tunnel. But you could definitely do Reiki and align people's chakras, but you have to learn something about it. Maybe you're not done learning about it. See, I always think everybody knows about whatever I know about. And so please, if you don't know about Louise Hay, buy her books. At least buy her book. You can heal your life. You can heal yourself. That's what I rule I rule all my artwork on that. And my readings. Okay, so the conflict that you've been having God doesn't want you to cry about it or feel bad about it. He's like, sometimes we take breaks, and he's like patting you on the head. And he's like, remember that time that you got very, very sick? He's just telling me this now. Remember that time that you got very, very sick? And you were at a commission. You thought you were going to pass over and come home to heaven. That's what he says. He goes, but no. He goes, then remember you got better? That was me. That was him, of course. Yeah, I just want you to have more faith. That you got over other things in the past. Why do you think you're not going to get over this? Or just live with it. Okay? You do you, but you could still do you and what you want to do in terms of the mission that you feel like you have from God, but it's just going to be a different angle so that you're not injuring your hands, that you're not re-injuring your hands. And then to do Reiki, you have to know about the chakras. You have to know about opening your psychic ability and tapping into it, because you feel it. You start to understand people's auras. You start to understand people's energies. Like when they walk in the room, you'll be able to understand this person has been having a lot of stomach problems, a lot of solar plexus issues, just by laying on of hands or hands over the body. Okay. Are you saying, like, because I hear in my mind, is there a need for that, though? Katrina, is there a need for that? I'm afraid if I say I don't do full massages, people aren't going to need me. The people aren't going to want my services. And there is a need for it. But I guess they're showing me, like, maybe you doing the Reiki part, or even just massaging of the head, just really soft, and somebody else doing a harder Swedish massage, or like working as a team. That's what they're showing me, working as a team. Okay. Yeah. I did tell her to have more faith. Your health is going to go into smooth. It's going to be smooth again. So please don't worry. You're going to get the stability that you want. There's a new program that maybe it's a nutritionist, or it's like a different type of doctor, or a different medicine. It's like a new program is going to help you to get that stability that you've wanted. Because I feel like this has been the last year and a half, 2 years, maybe even 3 years, where you feel like you were hanging on by a thread, and then you finally gave into it because, you were in pain. Okay, yeah. All right. So maybe with this new program, different exercise, different like rehab exercises that you're taught, diet, medication, what I said about the protein, and being active with your health, being active, which I see you doing, but like you, maybe, like I said before, doctors are great, and, God bless that we have doctors, but nutritionists and people who do the opposite of pharmaceuticals, that, we need that too. So relating to having more of a spiritual connection, that was definitely coming up in my notes. All the spiritual connection, everything with the crown chakra, because the crown chakra rules the brain rules anything to do with Parkinson's, palsy, stroke, things to do with your hands, working your hands and your legs, because the messages are sent out from the brain to the hands and arms and legs. Okay, so that's why work on the crown chakra, affirmations for the crown chakra. Just put it in YouTube, affirmations for the crown chakra. Immerse yourself with colors white, sparkly white. What's the name of it? Gold, silver. Those are the three colors for crown chakra. White, gold, silver, sparkly. Okay. Do I have something to show you? I'll show it to you later. Okay. So be active with your health. Keep your spiritual connection going. More praying. I'll get more into that. They just told me to read the page first, because my mind goes all over. If you were to open up this and see what's in here, it would be like, tell Edie this, tell Edie that, tell Edie this, tell Edie that, don't forget about this, don't forget. And then I'm like all mixed up. So what about that person that's standing over there? Just ignore them. Like, I don't know why they're there, but I know that they will tell me. Like that guy, Tom, jumped in, and I forget who he is to you, but I said, who are you? He said, I'm Tom. He wants you to use your psychic abilities more. And he's like, I always told her that, Katrina. I told her she was very psychic. I think it scared you, maybe. It scared you. Okay. Utilize your gifts and talents. Utilize everything you have, like encompass everything. And you know what? You're not done learning. You could be, like I said before, you could be 40, you could be 25, you could be 60, you could be 70, you could be 80, you could be 90. As long as you're on this earth, we're always learning, okay? Even if you're laid up in the bed, you could pick up your book, you could learn something on YouTube, you could pick up a book and read your book, you can listen to music, all different kinds of music, and when you're listening to the music, it is healing and aligning your chakras. That's why music is so important, especially with anything to do with the brain, okay? So be clear in your thoughts to heal yourself and remove your ego. Now, when you start to feel, the impact of your psychic abilities, sometimes we get to be, our ego comes into play, and like, I'm right. I feel like I'm right, and sometimes I have to acquiesce and I have to say, you know what? This is my reading, but it's really, I could be wrong, because I'm not God. I do get messages from God. I do get messages from angels and spirit guides, but I could be incorrect because we are human and we're fallible. So open up your mind to, you can learn from everybody, okay? And even though you want to feel strong in your gifts, and you will feel it, okay? God wants you to remove the ego so that you can be humble like him. And it's not easy. I'm telling you, it is not easy. I struggle with that too myself. Not that I feel like, oh, I'm all that, I'm like God. No, not at all. I struggle with, a lot of things, like, should I tell this message? Should I say this? Oh no, I can't say that message because the person can't really do anything about that, so why bring that up? Like, I have to have an open conversation. Is that the right thing to do? And sometimes God says, don't say anything. Don't say that, But utilize your gifts always for your whole life. When do you stop? Never. And you stop when you go to heaven. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop on that page and just read a couple because I have a bunch of stuff. So you're probably going to have to listen to this a couple of times because it's a lot to absorb, and I'm just going to light some more. I like to have that in the shot. So let me turn this around because I have a bunch of cards here, and just let me light this, and usually okay. Oh, so I forgot about this paper. All right. So Taurus and Edie, you need to find your team. You need to find your team, your spirit team or your tribe, if you will. Okay? And you thought you found that some people disappointed you. And that's okay. This is normal. This is all normal stuff that happens to all of us. But now it's like God is saying you have to find your new team. Okay? It's like a different level. They're trying to, like you're leveling up. Leveling up. I don't know why I need to have this here, but I do. Okay, so you have to find your own team. Everything you need is already inside of you. That's what they kept saying over and over again. Like you feeling like you don't have it, but everything you need is right inside of you. I'm reading it. Okay? You have the tools, but you need the support and the guidance of like-minded people and folks. Now, I never say folks, so I don't know if that's a word that you say or somebody around you says, but I never say that. That's why I have a question mark. But you need to be around people that get you, right? That understand you. It's almost like you're an artist and you want to continue being an artist, but you want to start painting something different. And so in order to feel understood and supported, you need to find people that paint the same thing. If that makes any sense. Okay, so guidance of like-minded people, folks, let me know about that. Stop staying on things that haven't worked, and take that challenge or that new risk. Okay? So stop staying on things that haven't worked. Okay, good. I'm done with that page. So I am going to throw that page away. All right, because then I feel accomplished. All right, let me do these cards that I laid out. And now I hardly ever use these cards, but what I do is I go over there before I do a reading, and I say which cards does my client need, and they put my hand on it. So these are called ancestor cards, and again, I never know what the name of them are. I do, like I have that deck, Machete. That's really beautiful, Machete. Okay, so let me show you what I got. And I do see you maybe going on vacation. Like you asked about, would you move? Do you have an opportunity? Because I do see the cold winter, and I don't like you in the cold winter. So if you do have an opportunity to move, but I feel like you're going to do like a snow, what is it called? Snow bunny? You know where you go, like people that are in New York or Michigan or, Colorado, and they stay there 6 months, but then they go to Florida. They have like a condo in Florida, and they stay there for the cold months, so that they can be warm. warm is definitely better for you, but I didn't see you making a big, huge move. I saw you making, like, if you have family that has like a house in Florida, or, you know, a warm place, but I felt Florida. And then just keeping your house, and just like, or you're gonna go on vacation, but it's like you need, for the winter months, you shouldn't be in this area. I'll show you. Okay. All right. It's all right, but it's just, it came up. It was like one of the cards, first card that came up when I shuffled. I said, what does Edie need to know? And it came up. All right, so what it says is respect your physical body. Oh, that's interesting in light of what I was saying. Okay, detox, rejuvenate, and relax. So this is just showing like a relaxing place, a little cabin in the woods. But in terms of your question, I was meditating on that, and I did feel like they kept on saying she's not going to move though, because moving is stressful. It's going to be like, we're going to spend, you know, a good amount of time, like 6 months out there in Florida type of thing, and then go back. So you have the best of both worlds in a way. But I felt like you knew somebody in Florida, or maybe you have kids or nieces and nephews, or you're gonna buy. It's just that I didn't see like moving furniture out. So I was like, are they keeping the house and doing the snowbird thing? Is it called snowbird or sunbird? I don't know, because I would never have enough money for like 2 houses, but I feel there's a situation where you could do that. Okay, let me know if I'm wrong. All right, and that's okay. I could be wrong, and there'll be no problem. But what if I'm right? Okay. Anyhow, I just always give you what I get. The card that I got was this one. Okay. And this one says take time out, siesta, recharge, rest. So do you have a problem with resting? Because these 2 cards came up and they're telling you you need to rest. And as you're resting, you're learning something else about yourself. You're learning a new skill, maybe the Reiki, maybe the chakras, maybe Louise Hay, and you're going to integrate it into whatever your mission is. So don't be afraid to rest and rejuvenate. Okay, take the time out. That's very beautiful. That's a very beautiful message. I didn't pull that many of these cards because I have so many other cards. Connect with animals. Animal spirit guides, healing, and past pets. Okay. I don't I know you gave me a question about your past pets. I don't do that. I only mention if I see somebody, if I see a dog or a cat, you know, like they went over the Rainbow Bridge, and you will see them when you go to heaven. I'm a big believer in that. I have a knowing of that, but I don't generally, you know, my wheelhouse of gifts does not reach out to animals. I wish it did, because I always feel my Cleo and my dog Princess, but more importantly, Cleo was a bulldog that Devin had when I first met him. He had 3 dogs, 2 cats, 2 turtles, and a rabbit. Okay. But when I met Cleo, his bulldog, I know this is weird, but I felt she was my mother reincarnated. Turns out she was a Libra. Her name was Cleopatra. When I took her over and adopted her, I did adopt her. I just told, I wouldn't let him have her back. Sorry, but not sorry. But anyhow, I changed her name to Cleo. I took off the Cleopatra, and I changed her name from a C to a K, as, you know, for the Kardashian. And I changed her last name to Brady, so she was Cleo Brady. And anyhow, So when she passed away, I only had her from 2012 to, I didn't have her as a puppy because, I didn't even know him, wasn't divorced. And so I had him from 2012 to, she died in 2020. And I kept seeing her walk around. And it was horrible because I couldn't get over her. And that's when did we get Casper? We still had Nana. But I didn't feel the same way about Nana. I loved Nana, but Cleo, she just reminded me of my mother. And it was so weird. It was like she had my mother's spirit in her. And so it was like losing my mother again. So that's my weird story. But sometimes out of the side of my eye, I saw her walking. So when we got Casper, of course, is not a girl. I wanted a baby bulldog, but they were not in this town. So the only dogs that were available were American Bulldoggy, and that's what he is. And we went there to get a girl dog, and then they sold them. So then we went to get this dog, Jack. And I said, "Hi, Jack." And he walked past me and picked up his leg and pissed on me. So we were like, he's not nice. So Casper does not look like Cleo and doesn't have Cleo's energy, but I only missed her. She was only out of my life for a month, and I just needed another animal to help me get over her. And you never get over anybody. It's like replacing a person. But you give that dog love or that cat love, and you get unconditional love back. So that's why I'm a strong advocate for always, rescuing animals or taking dogs or cats in, because they help us. They help us to live. They help us to extend our life. And what do? We feed them. We get them shots every once in a while. We take them to the vet every once in a while, and they just do all the work for us, and love and healing, unconditional, compassionate love. And so that's why it's always good to have a pet. Sorry about that, but other than that, I don't really feel like I dream about my own pets. I'm sure you dream about yours. But I know there's other psychics out there that do that. They do that work, I mainly am good with people, human beings is what I mean. Okay, so your reading is so far saying you need to respect your physical body, you need detox time, rejuvenate time, relax. In my head, I saw getting yourself near water, you and your husband, especially him. He's a Pisces. He needs to be near water. I don't know if you live near water, but being in a warmer climate would be great for both of you. Even if it's just a vacation and you stay there for, a while. But especially in the wintertime. Okay. Connect with animals. And I'm sorry, I go off on a tangent. I confuse myself. So, in order to get messages from your past pets, you just have to think about them and say their name. I forget, I think you said you have one named Boo. I have all the notes, but it's just, I don't want to if I look at the notes, then I get away from the cards. So, just say the pet's name, and you will get a message, I'm telling you. Or you'll get a feeling. You might get a feeling. Okay. Back to basics. Simplify, reduce, and what's that last one? Center. Center yourself. Simplify your life. Reduce means like get rid of things that you no longer need, that just, offer up clutter. Something with a car I was seeing. Let me shuffle again. 1 second, let me shuffle. Oh, that went out. That's weird. Yeah, let me shuffle because these got... What messages do I need to tell Edie? Messages do I need to tell Edie? Oh no, another winter scene. Okay. All right. So enjoy new beginnings. Definitely new beginnings are happening. That's what I told you, but they're showing me a snow scene again. So where you are, do you get a lot of snow? Celebrate, socialize, change. That change always feels a little bit scary. Let's see that horse and the guiding you, and the knight with the sphere, and the wolves. You have protection all around you. Yeah, these are beautiful cards. I have not done them in such a long time, but that's okay. And then reconnect with Mother Earth. Everything to do. See, I feel like the water, you and your husband need the water connection. Even if it's a lake or a pond, or a jacuzzi. Go to a hotel that has a jacuzzi. That's really good for both of you. Or a pool. Plant, garden, harvest. Okay. And the last one of this deck is treat your body well. Exercise, meditate, and massage. And that's what you do. Oh, this was a... Thank you, dear God. Thank you, Spirit Guides. So, remember what I was saying earlier in the reading? That you need to get yourself a massage. You need to get your facial. You need to get... Because as you're getting that self-care, mani-pedi, right? As they're doing that to you, something goes off in your head. Something clicks. Oh, this is what I need to integrate into when I go back on my mission. When I go back to doing massages and Reiki, perhaps. I think maybe you said you do Reiki. We're not going to go back to that because I already spent a lot of time on that. But this whole reading from your ancestors are telling you you need more rest. And you need to get like an adjustment, a massage, chiropractor. I always say start with like the easy things like manicure, pedicure. If you don't like to lay on see, I have a problem with laying down, face down with that whole thing. So I do when I try to get a massage for my neck and my back, I do the chair where I could sit in a chair where I'm sitting up, because I don't like to... I mean, if I lay down and they put the pillow under me, a couple of pillows, and I get a facial, I'm fine. But laying face down, sometimes I feel claustrophobic that way, and I have neck problems. So, any way that you need to do it, get yourself a massage, a facial, mani-pedi, okay? Because I'm telling you, I promise you, I'm 99% sure that you're going to have a revelation during your mani-pedi or during your facial, during your massage, okay? And like I said, I see you in this room. Like I used to do yoga, I know. Yeah. you can't tell with my physique now, but I used to do yoga, and I used to go to a yoga place, many yoga places, and that's what I'm looking at. I'm seeing you standing in this place, and you're just watching, and then you're talking to somebody, a light-haired, there's two women. One is light hair. She kind of looks like you. She's like light eyes and blonde hair, light hair, a light complexion. But the other one is like Hispanic, like a dark skin, and like more of like my physique, right? I'm trying to. It's not a cash register, but there's like some sort of box, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a yoga place because I see mats, and then I see you saying, the person that you're talking to is saying, just watch, just watch, just observe, because you're like, I don't feel like I want to sit down. I don't know if I'm gonna get up. So that they're like, that's okay. We just want you to watch, and they give you a chair, and you're sitting in a chair, and you're watching. Okay, you let me know if that happens, and I am gonna move on. I'm gonna put these cards up. I'll cleanse them tomorrow. And the reason why I say tomorrow is because I'm not gonna do it tonight because I might have to work tomorrow. I'm not sure. One second. What happened to the string? I had a string. 1 second. Let me take a break. I'm here, but I'm just taking a cookie break because I didn't have dinner. Does Edie need to know? Does Edie need to know? I'm sorry. I had to take a break because I only had breakfast today. I had egg with cheese and a little English muffin, but that was so long ago. And then as I was meditating, writing notes, and then procrastinating, I didn't get a chance to make dinner. And then I said to Devin, "You want to order in, get pizza?" He's like, "No, I don't want anything. Just make me a sandwich." Why don't you make me a sandwich? Who's gonna make me a sandwich? Only kidding. Or am I? But no, I have stuff for later. But I always have to make sure I have coffee. So these are my beautiful Kipper. These are really the only cards that I use the book with. Okay, and they look like New Orleans, and Spirit Guides wanted me to use them for you, so I'm going to use them. And let's see what you need to know. I'll show you them in a second. And they always tell me when to light something. I hate to do it at night, but I need it because it clears the air and helps my flow. I was going to go in the car. I told Devin I'll go in the car, and he's like, "No, don't go in the car." So, like, I'm in a dining room, but we have French doors, and then we have a little plastic door, but it does go through. But I just need to light it kind of when I start a new deck. You know, the deck just is good. I'm open and receptive to receiving any messages. Thank you. Please and thank you. Okay, so we have the family room, we have community, we have the main mall. No, the main mail. Okay, that's why I'm going to put my glasses on. Then we have Great Fortune, which I don't even remember that card. Then we have Change, I remember that card. Privileged Lady, I remember that. And a Mature Man. What does that all mean? Basically, I got to pick 2 more cards because it's kind of like the Celtic Cross that I do, that I used to do back in the day as well. And just give me a moment and I'll get my glasses on, because I do have to read it. Okay, so the first one is family room. What I get from this just generally is like kind of like wealthy and I don't know, like I feel inheritance. I feel like you're going to have some extra money that you didn't know about, so that's why it was reading to me as an inheritance. But it could just be like some money that, oh, you know, we have enough money to get a house in Florida or another place that's, you know, nice weather. That would be easier on you and your husband. When I see that, that's what I think of. Okay, so now we're going to consult the book. So that is card 21. And why did it get dark? Okay, family room. Mid-morning. Family room. Mid-morning coffee is served in a bourgeois drawing room. True to Victorian style, the drawing room is a better house. In better houses was off the formal parlor. and was a place to withdraw and for entertaining close friends and family. Society visits would have been in the formal parlor so that we know we're in a welcoming and supportive space. Where secrets and personal matters may be shared. Literally, it's a room that stands for all private or enclosed spaces such as living rooms, hotel rooms, offices with doors. Okay? Apartments. More abstractly, it represents privacy and intimacy. The sense of closeness can also refer to time and place, as in soon, near, right next to you. So shortly. Time frame, no more than a month. This card signifies your personal space, such as your home, apartment, motel room, or office closest to you, and this would represent you. It means other nearby cards are in the room that is close, okay? The timing is very soon. Consider the context. Hold fast to the present now. This card describes everything that is very close, whether temporal or spatial. It's also the card that indicates your home, privacy, and all rooms, apartments. You can retreat into your privacy without being introverted. Ambience, your true home. Okay, the cards around it is how you're supposed to read, and the card around it is community, main man, great fortune. Great fortune. I don't have to tell you, great fortune is really good. Like that, what I talked about happening is happening soon. Where I talked about perhaps inheritance. But first has to be a change. A change is coming. Okay, so wait. Yeah, so that's the family room, and then we have, I'm going to read this one now here, Great Fortune, which is 26. Okay, so it is the most enabling, this is the most enabling, powerful, and positive card. Yes, it is. Okay, at the end of the promenade, we encounter the goddess Fortuna in marble, gilded by a blazing sunset. All the significators' wishes are coming true. Outstanding good luck, triumph, wealth, happiness, and fruitfulness. Everything delightful and aligned with true purpose, like the gift card 17. Great fortune turns challenging if there's challenging cards around it, but there isn't. There is a change card, though. That's I have talked about already. Okay, so you may have a very good period now. Take a chance on opportunities. For the rest, okay, great fortune doesn't provide comfort for the rest of our days, but indicates that you can hope for an improvement or winning streak in the short term. Great fortune indicates new opportunities in job matters, and you asked about that. Simply satisfaction from daily work. It also announces new perspectives and improvements in relationship matters. Oh, so that's very good too. So this has to do with great fortune. It could even be a short-term fix. It doesn't mean like for the rest of your life. It means like, you know, something maybe you've been waiting for, wanting. Could it be in health? It's not necessarily a health card, but it could indicate coming, and you are coming out of having boom, bang, bam, so many health problems, one after the other, and you feel like it took away your art, it took away your ability to do massage therapy, Okay, so with this card showing up, that's really good. It's, saying that, and the family room saying, feeling safe again, feeling like fortunate. Okay. The next one I'm going to read is community. Okay. When I touch this card, it shows me your question, one of your questions. And one of your questions was, do I still have a mission? Do I still have people to heal? Do I still have people to help? And yes, once a healer, always a healer. Okay, until you go home to heaven. So, and some people would tell me, well, how am I supposed to heal anybody if I'm in bed? Or if I broke my foot or hurt my leg, or if I'm in the hospital. Well, you could think a thought, and with the mind, it rules everything. Okay? You could send people messages with your mind. You could send your own body, messages to heal, to align. Okay? So community. And I definitely, I think I have too much. I'm not going to light anymore after this because I know it's probably too much for him. Okay, 39, page 39, card 39. Community. Okay. Here we meet cheerful and stoic working class, the gardener, the flower girl, the Covent Garden, the errand boy from the local pub, servants who all come together in support. The card's literal meaning is friends and community. More abstractly is, and I keep on hearing, I want to help her. Katrina, I want to help her. I want to help her. And that's like from a male voice and a female voice. So it's like people want to help you, but you're like, no, I'll do it myself. I can do it myself. So God is saying, reach out for help. Things that you're worried about in your mind could come out and people will help you. And sometimes you don't want to hear their advice because you're afraid, like, I don't know if I can climb that mountain that they're telling me to climb. Okay? But you could say, that's a good suggestion, but let me start with a hill. All right. So more abstractly, it's the support about being understood and finding the place where you belong. What did I talk about earlier? Finding your tribe, finding your group, finding the people that get you, Edie. Okay? See, the cards never lie. All right? Since your community is always there for you, the timing of this card is ongoing. This card describes all people with whom you feel a connection, family, relatives, friends, and like-minded persons. It also might describe groups or unions and associations in questions about partnership and matters. It describes what I'm just hearing, like, your answer is going to come. What are you trying to say to me? Edie's spirit guide or my spirit guide, your answer that you're looking for is not coming from the person that you thought it was going to come from. It's not coming from the pharmacist. It's not coming from a doctor. It's coming from a different type of person that you never thought you could learn from. If that makes any sense. But I had to say that. I had to close my eyes because otherwise I get distracted and I forget what they're trying to tell me. Yeah, so it's like I closed my eyes, but open your eyes to the different people. Like it. So I'm hearing nephew, I'm hearing niece, but I'm also hearing they're like a nephew or a niece or grandchild, but they're an adult. They are an adult. But you would never go to them for advice, but you're going to be surprised that they will advise you. And then something else about pharmaceutical or pharmacy. It's weird. I don't always get the full message. So just keep that in the back of your mind. It describes people who you feel a connection with. I read that. In questions about partnership, it matters. It describes harmonious relationship. In professional terms, it stands as good teamwork. And I did tell you about people who are going to help you. And they told you to observe. They want you to be an observer, and they're going to be very helpful to you. And you're going to be like, why are they being so nice to me? Because they know that you have a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills that they can learn from you as well. So they are honored. They're going to act honored to help you. Okay? It's just a matter of you reaching out, and don't close any doors because you're scared or you just never did it before. Just be on a learning mission. Okay? And God will bring you there. It might be a zigzag, but it does involve massage. It does involve the things that you used to do, but just a little bit more, and using your psychic abilities as well. In professional terms, it stands for good teamwork and a positive working atmosphere. This card indicates having good people around you, family and true friends, loyalty and cooperation. Oh, I love this card. I love it. Okay, cooperation and group efforts, helping each other when needed. The original Kipper dealt principally with domestic aspect of people's lives portrayed from their homes and living rooms. However, I have outlined that was just a little extra. Okay, that was community, right? Okay. Yeah, they said do the change one. This is the change. Okay. Gotta take this off because I'm starting to get a headache from this. Okay, so change is 9. 9. Okay. It's time change. Okay, so you see the old-fashioned car, building outside, and I've been talking to you about change. So it's time to go. This card shows a hard-working porter in a flat workman's cap, packing up your stylish furniture in a horseless carriage. You're moving from your old townhouse into a better digs, and you don't plan to come back. With the family room card, and we did have the family room card 21, literally a new apartment with house. Oh, remember I was talking about, I saw like maybe a Florida condo or a new place in a warmer area that has water and pool and warmer climate. Okay, so it's literally a new apartment with the house card. Did I get the house card? No. Okay. More abstractly, it also might mean you need to be adaptable. This is a point in time for change, Edie. That might manifest itself via a change in location or other social situations such as career move, relationship with others, or your own outlook may change. 1 second. Your own outlook might change. A versatile card that can link with others to represent change of physical location, occupation, or relationships. Moving on from where you live or work, a change of career or relationships, taking some possessions with you. But space and circumstances require some to be left behind, physical and emotional. This card is usually metaphorical, circumstances are changing, but with card 27, I didn't pull out 27, I don't think, let's see. I got card 26, I got card 29, 21, okay. It's usually unexpected income. I said that earlier before we did the cards. A literal relocation or move is coming soon. So that was one of your questions. Before I even did the cards, I think I answered that. Okay, what we have left is a main male, and we have a privileged lady, and then we have a mature man. So we have two males and one female. Privileged lady, I always feel, I'm going to read that one first. I always feel is a wealthy person, wealthy woman. So I feel like this is you, okay? And if you don't feel wealthy now, things are going to fall into place, and visualize yourself among grass and this beautiful, see this white, what is that called? I don't know, it's like a white area that the rich people used to have plants, but they would also sit there in the backyard. Unless you have a place like this now. Okay, so let's find out a little bit about the privileged lady. 12. Okay. So far, they're all pretty positive cards. I mean, the only thing that I felt was that, yeah, you know, like it's hard to say, like, and I said happy birthday, but happy birthday again. It's hard to say that, like, okay, you know, I already went to school, I already did my training, I already did this A, B, and C, you know, for 40 years, you know, and it's hard to say, okay, now I'm going to start doing something else, because we try to wrap up our lives into, okay, this is when we had our kids, or this is when we went to high school, this is when we did college, and we married, and, you know, and we try to wrap it up and put it little timestamps on it, but God says he has other plans. Okay, he doesn't like when we do that, because sometimes too many plans, he makes a fool out of us if we try to do too many plans without him. Okay, in other words, like, I'm seeing this, let it flow more, and there's still more things he wants you to learn. There's still more gifts and talents that he wants you to utilize more strongly at this point in your life. And so that's why I'm saying, even me, everybody, like, we like to say, okay, like, I know I'm not going to go back to school, but I'm going to still learn. I'm still a learner. I'm going to go back to school on my iPad, or I'm going to get some books in subjects that I want to learn. There's always ways of learning that we learn all the time. And it's good to have a curious mind, because then we figure out that there are different things in us that still need to come out, that we still need to explore. Okay? And we're responsible to do that. You know, if we shut it all down, that's when the chakras start going wacky. When we shut it down, we say, no more time for that, you know, I'm done with that. I'm done with this part of me, that part of me. We're shutting down chakras in the body. So I truly believe that it's so important we can wake them up again and we can align them. Okay. So privileged lady. We meet the privileged lady, the epitome of wealth, ease, youth, health, beauty, and charm, as she strolls across the wide lawn past the orchid house. The orchid house, that's what that is. Lavishly dressed in the latest fashion, she gives the relaxed look of a lady used to admiration. This card stands for fun, creativity, luxury, the good life, and all the beautiful things. She can also be the best friend of the main female card too. In opposite sex readings or partner, well, this is an opposite sex reading. This is about you. She is the female counterpart of the wealthy man. We don't have the wealthy man, but we have the main man, which, don't worry, I'll read that. And we have the mature man, which I think that might be your husband. Let's see. Okay. So, she's not with the false person. Okay. She has to be careful of vanity, disdain, and cluelessness. With other challenging cards, she could be wayward, headstrong, and stubborn. She can be a young woman, a daughter, or a young mistress. But I feel like this is you. I feel she's representing you because this is your read. Okay? When this card is referring to the person or talking about a lucky phase, being carefree, no worries, this is usually a positive card. And I believe it's coming out as a positive card because there wasn't anything negative in it. It's almost like, you know what I'm feeling? Like you being famous for something, or I don't know if you wrote a book, or a manual or a teaching manual or something, some kind of book or manual, but like people knowing you. Yeah, I just feel like she's well known, she's famous, or she's well known in her community, her area, her field. Okay. A young privileged lady, it's the card that shows gentle and comfortable way of life. In other words, you're rich. No, okay. I'm only kidding. Or am I? No, it's a good card. I would tell you if there was like negative connotation to, one way or another, but you're not having the matchup with this one and then the Great Fortune card. Come on, this is lucrative. This is, but the only thing that might give you pause is that you have to make the change. And then I hear the Michael Jackson song, I'm gonna make a change. I don't know the words. I'm gonna make a change. It's hard to make a change, but yours is gonna be actually a change as a move, and a change a little bit in your career too, because like I talked about earlier in the reading, if you're a massage therapist doing more Reiki, or maybe you are a Reiki specialist. I cannot say that word. Comes out as like reggae. Okay, yeah, family room. This is all like kind of wealthy cards. Okay, so let's find out who the main man is. And that's card number 1. That's card number 1. Okay. The main significant and protagonist of our novel in keeping with its time. He's a fine gentleman, a so-called man of qualities, and we meet him in the study. Note the paintings in the study referring to other cards. For opposite sex reading, he's the partner of the main female. Or, like, I'm feeling like this, the mature man, is your husband. And this could still be your husband, like his whimsical side, his other side, like when you first met him and fell in love, like that, you know, young Pisces side comes out sometimes. But I truly feel this is a person in your life that maybe a nephew or a son, that is going to tell you about the change, the move, is going to help you. I feel positive about him. Like, he's going to give you ideas. And you're going to be like, I can't do all that. How would you expect me to do all that? You know, I'm older now and I have this wrong with me and that wrong. You know, I can't move around too. Me and your father can't move around that good. Like, I'm seeing him as a son or nephew. Okay, so let me read about him. The first card represents to your reader the principal male and the subject of the describes where you are in this moment in time, what you desire, and what you should be aware of. It also encourages you to look after yourself and to integrate your partner without being selfish. A well-dressed man stands in a well-appointed Victorian parlor. His gaze is confident, direct, and open. This card signifies the male querent. In a reading for a woman, he's important. He's an important male in her life. Okay? So you might have to, besides, you know, somebody further from you, it sounds like it's somebody who's close to you, like your husband. Now I'm going to read this one. The last one is the mature man, which is 5. Yeah, nothing bad. He's going to help you with the change. He's going to help you. He's going to give ideas, and at first you're going to be like, are you crazy? Are you nuts? We can't do that. How are we going to do that? Okay, but just sit with it and say, you know what, that's a really good idea. Let's think about it. Let's do research. Okay? Don't shoot it down. Don't shoot his ideas down is what I'm trying to say. Okay, mature man, sober and thoughtful, in his day suit. We meet the wise older gentleman in his library. He's on your side, generally, representing all kinds of bosses, guides, mentors, authorities, and executives, as well as important male relatives, such as grandfather, uncle, father, stepfather, fathers-in-law, godfather, close to you. Without any bad cards, he offers support. Far away, or especially behind you, is a false person. No, he's not. No bad cards there. He can be challenging in opposite sex or same-sex affairs, both. I use him as the other man. There is a wise person who might become important for you. Respect all persons of authority or any experienced person. For example, your grandfather, father, teacher, chef. You will benefit from his wisdom. And I will, when I do the cards for, he's going to advise you, but he might have already advised you. When I do the cards for, like, heaven, I'm going to try to tap into, you gave me some names, and I'll try to tap into them. Actually, I'll do that now, and I'll do read the rest of the notes later after I do these cards, because they're just telling me go with the cards for now. Let me put the kipper back in. It's a cute little box. Like I said, I don't usually keep my boxes, but these I wanted to because they were so cute and the little book was easy. Usually the book is not so easy. Isn't that cute? It has a magnet too, so it closes. Hear that? Okay. Alright, let me put this over here. Okay, let me just get to your page of your questions and I have to read all that. Oh, here it is. I had it out. So silly. Okay. So I talked about, you said there's a spirit walking in the house. I know I said I don't do animals, but I feel like it might be an animal that used to live there. I don't feel anything negative. I do feel a feminine energy. And I just heard, in terms of singing, you can always sing. You can always sing. You don't always have to be like in the choir. You can be in the choir if you want, but I don't know if that's where God wants you, because you're being more pulled in the direction of your mission of how many people, when you said how many, am I supposed to heal any more people? And I heard, what I hear, 20 to 25 or 25 to 28. And yes, so that answer is yes. And so, yeah, singing is good, but there's practicing. Yeah, you can meet people when you practice, but they're showing me like that gets too boxed out and you get too focused on that. Like there's rehearsals and whatnot. I'm seeing more of like that yoga studio, or that maybe has a back room that they do massage and Reiki type of thing. And the other cards were saying that you have to get more rest. You have to get more relaxation, more self-care. Okay? When you don't give your body the self-care it needs and you just go and do, what happens is the chakras will shut down, and then you'll have the problem with the hand or the leg. Some people have a knee problem, arthritis, like they'll stop you because your guides are always watching over you, so they'll make it so that you have to rest. So that's why it's good to get self-care, that to give your, getting your hair cut every couple of weeks, or get going for the nails and the manicure, pedicure. It's like when I go, there's nobody there. So it's not like I have any friends to talk to when I go, but it's so healing. I feel so much better after I've gone. It's just peaceful. And all right, so I don't know if you gave me the name Anne. I know you gave me the name Justin. And I heard Anne, but I'm not sure. I'll have to shuffle on Justin. I wasn't sure. I'm more trying to stay in your energy. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Tom left the earth in 2024, and I see something big happening to you in 2024. Like there was a big change, and like kind of like why do I feel like a broken heart? Maybe because he died, because Tom died. I don't know who he was to you. Is that your brother? But anyhow, yeah, they're showing me like a broken heart. All right. Any other messages? All right, they told me to shuffle. Let me shuffle as I'm concentrating on. Can you tell me the spirit guides of Edie? Somebody's saying, what about Louise? What about Louise? So I think that it might be your parent, because whoever named you that, they still want to call you that. I think this is a sister. She's like, I'm very proud of you, Edie. I'm very proud of you. Why aren't you proud of yourself? I'm very proud of you and all you do and all you have done. I've been there with you every step of the way. I think that would be whoever died in the 80s. Is that your sister, Linda? Because she's like, Katrina, I've been here a long time. I've been up here a long time, but I watch my sister. She calls you a little sister. She goes, I watched my little sister. I go, are you older than her? She goes, not necessarily. Because she said, she goes, I'm forever young. I'm forever young. She goes, my sister has done 1,000,000 things, but God wants her to do 1,000,001. God wants you to do 1,000,001. But she said, they clocked, don't worry, they clocked that you did 1,000,000 things. But you just need to push yourself to do 1,000,001. And she was like, don't worry, like if you're nervous about moving, just try to do the, like, go visit. I keep seeing Florida, but maybe I'm wrong. Go visit like the place where you and your husband feel like you would be happy. Like take a trip, if you could, and see how you feel. Okay? And if it's a matter of like, oh, I can't bear to pack up the house and sell the house and move this and move that, then maybe just take trip to a warm place. And then things will fall into place. I just heard, should she keep the house? If she wants to keep the house, keep the house. Keep the house if you want to keep the house, but make the trip and maybe have, if you can, have a condo, or if you can't afford that, just go to a hotel or go to a friend's house or family that you know, because they're showing me like people, yeah, they just validated that you know people that are either in Florida or a warm climate, and you just need to fly out and make the trip. If you fly, make sure that you get the wheelchair, and if your husband needs one too, he gets it too, because it's so much easier. Trust me, I get the wheelchair too. Okay? When I travel by myself. If I have somebody to travel with, then I'm fine. I'll walk on my legs. But if I'm by myself, I can't walk, because I can walk, but I don't know where I'm going. I get confused because I have to take 2 planes there and 2 planes back. And it's a lot by yourself. So, messages for Edie. Messages for Edie. Who's trying to talk to Edie? Somebody said, I'll call her by her full name, Edith Louise. I'm like, okay, you can. I think this is a mother, your mother, or a grandmother, because she's like apologizing. She's like your sister said, I have always watched over you too, and I am very proud of you as well. And I'm sorry if I didn't make you feel that way when I was alive. I'm sorry if I didn't treasure. There's some gift that you have that she didn't treasure or nurture. She feels a little bit bad that she didn't nurture it. Okay. Lots of love. Showing lots of love towards you. And I want you to know we will be together again. So when you're missing them, I want you to know you have nothing to feel guilty about. Guilt and jealousy are the two emotions that are a waste of energy and time and creative. I had to learn that too, and I still struggle with it. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Okay? Uh, Cousin Kathy, I think. Cause it's like a fence that I see, and people come up to it. So I'm pretty sure your mom, because she kept saying the thing with your name, well, she gave it to you. She gave you that name, she's trying to say. Okay, that's a mom thing. All right. And then there's Sister Linda that says, am I the oldest sister? Because I'm really young. Because she's in heaven. And she's like, you could in heaven, you could be no matter what. Like, say you die when you're in your 70s or 80s or 90s. When you go to heaven, you could say what age you want to be. So most people, that's why most people, when you get to heaven, your parents look like they're in their 20s or 30s, because that's what they said they wanted to be, because that's when they were the healthiest or the most beautiful. But so your sister's reminding me of a teenager. And then there's cousin Kathy, and Kathy is, I think Kathy is the one who's saying don't have any guilt. And I'm still, she's always, it's okay if you cry about her, or, but never worry about her, because they're all in heaven watching over you. Okay, that I know who that is now. So Tom again is back. I forget who you said he is to you, but Tom is saying, I am always here helping you. See how he is with the flag? He's over in heaven helping you down here on earth. So what do? What does that mean? Just pray to him. Help. Say, please, dear God and Tom, and Mommy and Daddy and Cousin Kathy and Sister Linda, please help me with the next steps that I have to do. help me get through. And they will. Any kind of sign or symbol. Any kind of sign or symbol. Okay. All right. This one says, I am over here. I am learning over here. So even, and they're showing the book. Now, what did I talk about at length? That there's still things for you to learn. There's still things, skills they want you to have, because you're not finished healing. You're not once a healer, always a healer. Even before you're doing massage therapy or whatever your career was in, you were a healer. Okay, even before you learned it, you were a healer. So when God gives you that gift, you have it till you go back to heaven. And you're supposed to use it before you go back to heaven, until you go back to heaven. Okay, so that's why they're called gifts. And they're supposed to be utilized, even if we don't understand. Like, I don't understand why I'm about to make like 4 canvases that involve wolves. I'm not really a big wolf person, but I happened to see a couple of different pictures of wolves, and I'm like, I gotta do a series on wolves. Okay? And I always do things with Jesus, and I don't know if any more Jesus paintings will be bought, Archangel Michael paintings will be bought, but I'm still doing it. I got to do it. It's my mission, right? So a lot of times we don't know why we have to do it. It's never written out. But them showing a book, I don't know. You got to let me know. You got to text me and let me know. Did you ever write a book, or do you want to write a book? Because they're trying to show me a symbol. They're trying to show me a symbol. And even if it's like, if you need to know, how could you write a book? You don't even know where to begin. I wrote 2 children's books. A lot of people don't know about that because I hardly ever advertise them, but I'm going to start. I have the whole summer. And I do want to write another one, kind of a memoir type of thing, or even another children's book. Whatever it is, I can't stop at 2. And even if nobody buys it, but I'm self-published. So I did all that where I brought my manuscripts or mailed it out to England, I went up and down New York. I did get a meeting. I think Macmillan Books. I got a meeting. I got a 15-minute meeting. And that was crazy that I got that. And I got rejections. We're not the right fit. But anyhow, then I decided to do it myself. So there is a publishing thing that's not too much money. It's called 48-Hour Books. And if you don't have it, like, I'm not a typer, right? Even though I'm a teacher, I'm not good with the typing, so I have to get that done on the thumb drive. And if I went to a graphic artist once to get all my handwriting, up on a drive. But if you don't know how to do any of that, they can do that for you. And that's called 48-Hour Books. And that's what I'm going to republish my first children's book that I wrote, because there was a couple of things that I want different ways. And I want to, get that going. And it's not that much money. It's really not that much money. You can put it on your credit card and pay it off. But anyhow, by this symbol coming up, and I heard it before, it's like you need to write some sort of book. And the book does not have to be thick. It doesn't have to be fat. It could be written with somebody else. But it'll have your name on it. Yeah. Okay. Then I got the symbol of a heart, so somebody up there might be sending you hearts to let you know that they're here. And they're also saying tears cleanse the soul. Don't ever be afraid of holding things in. Don't keep things in, because release your tears. That gets the negative energy out, and that gets the toxins out. Okay. Somebody over in heaven, again, like I'm hearing a lot of things, like one person or maybe two people is like, sorry I left you. I'm sorry I had to leave you. Like, I know we were supposed to be together. Like, we're supposed to be best friends. We're supposed to be together. And I'm sorry I had to leave you. I have two people that said that. And this says, please forgive me. I am sorry, please forgive me. And I also, I'm sorry, sometimes I don't understand the messages, but like they said something with the hands, and they go talk about the hands, and I'm like, what am I supposed to say about the hands? They want you to reach out more for help, like not thinking that you have to do everything, because if you think you have to do everything on your own, then it's too much to say, I'm gonna move and change my life and change my career and do this whole, 360. That's too much. That would overwhelm anybody, cause stress to anybody. So they're saying there are people out there that are gonna help you, and we help you from heaven. So please forgive me for leaving you, because they're actually sorry about that. Somebody left suddenly, because I see like no preparation for you to even get ready, and I see a black shade. So either they were taken out quickly, like car accident, plane accident, or just like fast illness. But I don't even think of fast illness. This one is like I don't think they were murdered, but I think they, like a freak accident, like they were too young to die. And just, sometimes it's not anybody's, I don't think, it's definitely not your fault, but I just think it was their time, and nobody knew. And it was so shocking. Okay. They just told me to shuffle again. Any ending? I am surrounded by loving animals. So your loved one is not only with their animals, but they're with your animals that passed over. They wanted you to know that. Oh, okay. These are the last two, and then I'm just going to shuffle the other ones that I have, and then I'll read the notes, because this is already 2 hours and 13 minutes, but I go over. Because it takes me a while to really, lay it out, because okay. So as a soul, I could be in several places at once. Unique unicorn. So this, one of your people, one of your loved ones that are in heaven, they want you to know they could be with you where you are now, but then if you move or you go on a trip, they're with you on that trip. If you go and you're another family member needs help and they live, 1,000 miles away, for example, you could tell them, please go help them in your mind or in your prayers. But they're just letting you know. Now that I'm a soul without a body, I could be anywhere in a split second. You just have to think of me, say my name. If you feel like you can't concentrate, I always write people's names down. Or I just say them 3 times. Like when I'm trying to connect with my mother, I'll say her name. Then I'll just say mommy, mommy, mommy. Okay, to be an extra annoying like I always was. All right, but they're letting you know. And the symbol for them is a unicorn. Just letting you know they're still around you, still watching. It's almost like they're showing me that they're holding your hand. They're like, Katrina, she can't feel me holding her hand, but I know when she's stressed out. I know when she's having a hard time. She's trying to make a decision and she doesn't know, but I'm right there with her. Remember, flies, not flies, it's like a little gnat. Remember me by the happy memories we created. And like when you're looking through pictures, and you see the person and you're like, oh, we had so many happy memories. Don't let it go sad. Remember that God let you have that memory with that person. And then somebody took a picture. And I see like you by the beach with either your cousin or your friend, your cousin or your sister. The beach is important because even though you're an earth sign, you're a Taurus, today's your birthday, you still need to be near water. That's totally the opposite of the earth. I mean, yeah, you need to be near trees in a park, park and trees is always nice too in a garden. But they're showing me you when you were a little kid. And they want you by a pond or a lake or ocean or even a pool or jacuzzi. But they're saying, remember me by the happy memories that we created. And they never want you to be sad, because if you're sad, then they feel like you're not feeling their energy, you're not feeling their soul. And sometimes I get discouraged because I feel like sometimes I don't. Like I say this all the time. I hear from my mother, sometimes like when she needs to talk, she'll like I'll have to go through a whole phase of crying and, being dramatic. And then I'll get some kind of, or I'll have a dream and her actual voice will come in, and my father the same thing. Or she'll tell me what to do, or tell me what I'm doing too much of, and to cut it out. But with my sister Christine, I'm not getting the voice connection. With my nephew, I do. But Christine, I feel, is still transitioning, making a transition. But she'll give me symbols, like I'll hear a David Bowie song or a Prince song, or a Kiss song. She loved Kiss. Or my first concert was Willie Nelson and Bob Seger. She took me to that. I was 18 and she was 5 years older. And that was my first concert ever. And then my second concert was Rock the Casbah, Rock the Casbah. Who's that? The Clash? Clash, I think. But anyhow, so that's her symbols through music and the color purple. So, sometimes they give us symbols and they give us connections without the words. I'll get words from my nephew. He'll give me actual some words. And my other nephew too, Patrick. So it's just like being aware of it, that they are still with us. Okay. Now, I gotta read you the notes. Is that what I have to do? Yeah, I'm gonna pick out one more card for, these are Archangel Michael. And when I was over there, they told me to take these cards. Archangel Michael, what does Edie need to know? Oh my gosh, I just realized your middle name is Louise, and Louise Hay. Louise Hay, that wrote the book that I told you to read. Well, maybe you have read it. You probably have read it. But you have her energy. That's why I refer to you as her. I mean, I refer her, I keep on saying, you might find a lot of answers in her writing. Okay. Does Edie need to know? From Archangel Michael. This one. Let's see. From Archangel Michael. The person you're asking about is trustworthy. My prayer is thank you for helping me to have faith so that I can open my heart wider in my relationships. I am grateful for your protection, ensuring that only trustworthy people are in my life. Okay, so that might be a question that you had, and he is watching over you, and you can always ask Archangel Michael, ask God first to allow Archangel Michael to protect you in your relationships or your business or your house or your car, okay? And he will come. What else does Edie need to know from Archangel Michael? Please and thank you. A favorable outcome. You got all good cards, girl. A favorable outcome. Okay. My prayer. Thank you for the beautiful outcome for this situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me trust and have faith. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so look at that, beautiful Archangel Michael. So you have a situation. We always have a situation. You have to start doing your manifestation, your affirmations. So all that is write down the outcome that you want and act as if it already is happening. Okay, so I'm so happy and grateful now that I am comfortable in my body, and my hands are working correctly, my legs are working strongly, and I am able to continue with my gifts and talents and also expand them. Okay, I'm just saying in general, you don't have to write down my words. It has to be from you. It has to be from you. Okay, if you want better health, you have to write down, thank you, dear God, for the, healthy healing that I'm doing. I am all healed. I have less shakiness, and whatever it is that you want. And the same thing with the house. If you want to move, or even if you don't want to move, thank you, dear God, for making my house appropriate and safe. Because sometimes we just don't feel safe where we are, and the answer isn't always to move. But I just felt like that in your reading, that's what I was saying. And I felt like that was the answer. Now I'm going to read the notes. Okay. So, I think, all right, so I'm just going to do straight. I'm going to turn this off only because my third eye is going to be open forever. And I'm not going to be able to close it. So, yeah, it's wide open. So, I have to get all this makeup off. All right, so a lot of conflict goes into smooth sailing, smooth stability, in terms of your health, because you'll have a new program, new diet, exercise, new meds. Being active with your health relating to spiritual connection. A healer, mentor, guru will help you in your career. Be clear in your thoughts to heal yourself and remove from your ego. I know I read this before, but I just have to go quickly through it. Otherwise, I will stop at every moment, and this will be 17 hours. Okay? Utilize your gifts and always utilize your gifts always for your whole life. When you do you stop? When do you stop? Never, until you go to heaven. That's how long you do your gifts and talents. They told me to go back to be clear in your thoughts to heal yourself and remove your ego. They just told me to read that again. Okay, now this is the research that I did when I was meditating, and then on Parkinson's. I clearly get this from my own spirit guides, but then also I look it up in the Louise Hay book, You Can Heal Your Life. Okay. And if you don't know, Louise Hay had cancer in her, I think, uterus, and she said to God, I can't do, it was the 80s, I think, or 70s, and she said, I can't do what people do. I don't want surgery. I don't have the money for, cancer therapy, chemo, and I don't want to do that. It's not me. So how else am I going to heal myself? So that's when she started getting into chakras and what they mean, and color therapy, and anything besides regular medicine. Okay? And I'm not saying don't do regular medicine. I'm saying do both. So there's, for every chakra that goes out of order, there's a reason. It just depends on what part of your body. So she happened to be sexually abused, I think, by her stepfather or a boyfriend of her mother's. And when she was about 15, she left home because she was tired of getting abused. And then she had no money. She was living on the streets, I think in LA. And then she met a man, and he became a pimp. And then she started doing that. And then I think did she have a daughter? Oh, what I'm trying to say is she had to go back in her mind and her life to see why she was holding shame in that chakra, in that area of her uterus. And she was holding shame in it because first she was sexually abused. Her mother didn't believe her. Then she left the house to try to get away from that, and ended up going with a pimp because he said he would get her food and a place to sleep. And then she ended up, being a prostitute, I think. And so all of that puts shame on those organs and guilt on those organs. So once you realize that and you release the guilt from the organ, from the particular part of your body that you are holding it in, it's a whole different thing. I mean, it's not just like one sentence and I'm healed. She wasn't one sentence and she was healed. But when she did finally go back to the doctor after she was trying to align her chakras, saying affirmations, trying to live a healthier diet with different color fruits and vegetables, right? She didn't just snap her fingers, right? They did an x-ray and they couldn't find the cancer. So guess what? She was healed. She healed herself, right? And of course with God. Because she aligned her chakras. So the cancer cells did not need to stay there. The guilt, the lump of guilt, did not need to stay in that area. So she released it. Okay? And that's why she wrote these books, to help people. All right. So with Parkinson's, Louise Hay figured or reasoned that there was a reason that we get certain conditions, right? So the reason, or metaphysical reason, was fear for Parkinson's, or even slight Parkinson's, was fear and an intense desire to control everything and everyone, feeling like not having control in your life. Maybe you grow up in, like, crazy lifestyle, or grow up in like there's a lot of things going on in your childhood. So feeling like you got to control everything. So the affirmation for that is to relax. I relax knowing that I am safe. Life is for me. Life is for me. And I trust the process of life. I relax knowing that I am safe. That's a lot. Because you have to get into a certain mindset. I relax knowing that I am safe. Life is for me, and I trust the process of life. I relax knowing that I am safe. Life is for me and not against you, and I trust the process of life. Okay. Also, palsy and Bell's palsy, it's the same affirmation. Paralysis, same affirmation. Palsy is paralyzing thoughts and getting stuck in that mindset. Like, oh no, what if I don't have enough money for this, or I never find out what I'm good at, or I'm being judged, or I never find the person that will treasure me, or I don't treasure that person. Like, it's just like all these thoughts, and you have to stop them, and you have to say, I relax knowing that I am safe, and then feel that. You being looked after, you being watched, you being watched over by the people in heaven, most importantly, by God, and all the archangels, and all your guardian angels, okay? That stay with you your whole life. It's just that people don't believe that. They don't believe in angels because they're like, oh, it's really not possible. No, it's possible. They come in with you. They're right there when your mother gave birth to you. Okay, and then they stay with you throughout your life. But if you don't utilize them, say, guardian angels, please help me. I'm scared. All they can do is open their wings and protect you, right? They help you, but you have to say them. You have to ask them to protect you, okay? Just like same thing with Archangel Michael. And if you're having health problems, the archangel for you is Archangel Raphael. Okay, so I relax knowing that I am safe. Life is for me, and I trust the process of life. At the same time, download, go on YouTube and listen to Jason Stevenson, affirmations, or just meditation music for the crown chakra, because that's where the brain is. So crown chakra is involved. So affirmation for palsy, or any kind of palsy, Bell's palsy, because it's related. They found out it's related to Parkinson's. It's related to kind of like a temporary stroke. And yeah, so that's paralyzing thoughts as well, getting stuck. Affirmation is, I am a free thinker, and I have wonderful experiences with ease and with joy. I am a free thinker, and I have wonderful experiences with ease and with joy. I am a free thinker, and I have wonderful experiences with ease and with joy. And just absorb that. I'm trying to absorb it too, because you know what? I have to read things like 5 times before I absorb it, and just, like, call it a slow learner. But I want to absorb things, especially affirmations. And sometimes when they're long, it means I have to write it. I have to read it over and over again, and then I just have to sit with it and just wait till I feel like it's true. Okay? And that's what my healing artwork has to do. I give you a folder, whatever you pick out is for the chakra that it's healing. Then I tell you what it means and the affirmations that go with it. So I am a free thinker, and I have wonderful experiences, meaning you don't want to be against your brain, thinking against, like, attacking your brain. It's almost like what I have is Hashimoto's, which is an immune disorder. And it's like my body, my immune system attacks my immune system, So in your brain, you have to try to get those thoughts. If you feel like you're getting on a reel of the same reel where that's worrisome, getting stuck in that, say to yourself, or just read it, I am a free thinker, and I have wonderful experiences with ease and with joy. And again, I got these from the section of palsy and Parkinson's in the Louise Hay book. And just to go on, I'm going to put on music that is good for crown chakra to finish this out. Jason Stevenson. Jason Stevenson, meditation music, crown chakra. And they have the affirmations. If you say, Louise Hay, affirmations for the crown chakra. Or what did Louise Hay say about Parkinson's? And it'll come up on Google, or it'll come up on YouTube. Okay, so let me just put it up. Crown chakra. Sometimes I feel like it hurts a little bit. And if it does, if you're trying to relax and go to sleep and you need music for that, the best one is just put on sleep. It doesn't work for me. I've tried everything. But it'll relax me. You put on dopamine release for sleep music. And usually it's like the heart chakra. But anyhow, this is crown chakra. Okay. So I am a free thinker, and I have wonderful experiences with ease and with joy. I relax knowing that I am safe. Life is for me, and I trust the process of life. Okay. Next page. We got notes. Okay. Bell's palsy. I don't know if you ever had it, but it is related. It's related in there to Parkinson's. And it does take a long time to, my sister went through a very long process of trying to find out if she had Parkinson's. Okay, so Bell's palsy. Extreme control, the metaphysical reasoning, Louise Hay thought that people would get this, was extreme control over anger, like not releasing your anger, not letting anybody see how angry you can get. And that's very bad to hold it in. I'm not saying, like break everything and scream and yell, but sometimes you do need to scream and yell because you have to release it, okay? If you can release it safely. Extreme control over anger, unwillingness to express feelings, okay? Unwillingness to express feelings. So what you say is, it is safe for me, the affirmation, it is safe for me to express my feelings. I forgive myself. It is safe for me to express my feelings. I forgive myself. Okay? Because God doesn't want you to torture yourself. God sees the best in you and doesn't want you listening to like bad stuff. Oh, deserve this. You got to hold this in. You got to hold that in. Otherwise, you're a bad person. No, that's garbage. You have to express yourself. You have to, get it out. And sometimes you get it out when you're alone and just do it, express it, or write it out, scream it out, yell it out, bang a pillow. And a lot of times you have to tell people by writing a letter or text what happened, why you're upset with them. Okay? You have to let it out because otherwise it doesn't get solved and it just stays in there. Stays up there somehow. Okay. So it is safe for me to express my feelings. I forgive myself. Okay, handy. Okay, anything with the hands. Now, real quick, I was a teacher, for a million years, and when I was working in Brooklyn, I started out as a fourth grade teacher. Then the second year I got the pre-K, which I originally was sent there to do, but then somebody else had it. So, long story short, I finally got the pre-K. And when I was doing the pre-K classes, it was one class in the morning with 18 kids, and then the afternoon, then you had a break, lunch, and then the afternoon was another set of 18 kids. And it was and I had an aide, but she basically was useless, okay? She wasn't cutting things out for me. She wasn't doing it the right way. And so basically, she was supposed to clean the tables. She wasn't even doing that right. So I had to do extra work, and I was taking every day. The kids, 36 kids, had to make something, and bring it home. So that's every single day, 5 days a week for 36 kids. So that meant me was cutting things out and taking things home. Even if I took things home, I was working on my lunch hour, I was working on my prep to do this, and then my hands were freezing up. So I went to the doctor and I just said, is this arthritis? And he was like, what do you do for a living? I tell him, and he's like, oh, that's the worst thing you could be doing. You got to rest your hands. Otherwise, you're going to need an operation, carpal tunnel, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I was newly divorced. I'm newly working in Brooklyn, in a Brooklyn school. And I was like, my hands that I need to create with. And I was also doing a lot of art on the bulletin boards. And I like that. I like to do the art part. But I wasn't able to my hands were all stiffened up. I had to sleep with a brace on. They kept telling me I needed the operation. They wouldn't give me the pills. So I was taking like Tylenol for it would feel like somebody was like stabbing me all of a sudden or ripping through me with a knife, right? I was like, I got to get Louise Hay on this. I can't do this anymore. I had this brace. I had the brace during the day, a brace. So many times I had the brace on, and I was trying to teach, and I was trying to cut things out because I'm a lefty, and that's where it happened mainly on my left hand. And I would be trying to teach with kids that couldn't speak English, and you do a lot of things with your hands, and they were looking at my hand brace and not looking at me, like it was weird. I had to sleep with the nighttime brace on because my whole hand would get hot. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I have no problem. I've not had any pain in my hands. I still work with my hands and stuff like that. I'm not a full-time teacher, but I still do, artwork and all kinds of stuff. But I wanted it to stop. I wanted to not have a brace. I definitely wasn't doing the surgery because my sister Christine told me, once you do the surgery, you have to get it done like every 5 years, where they actually cut in there and they do something, and it usually doesn't work out. So I was like, no, this whole thing needs to go. I need to, because I already had disc problems in my neck from a car accident. It just got worse and worse. Then I pulled down a box from on top of a closet. I was standing on a kid's chair because that aide wouldn't help me. She stood in the corner talking on her phone. She was like, oh no, we're told not to do anything. I said, you can't even help me to spot me on the chair? So I pulled this box down. It was about 50 pounds. And not only did I have a problem with my neck, I tore my shoulder blade. But it was the end of the school year, so I had to go to school. So I was like, when I got the thing in the hands, I was like, no, we can't do this. I would wear pads on my lower back because I also have L5 and L6 that are totally destroyed. And I was like, how am I going to drive from Staten Island to Brooklyn, teach these 2 classes, cut out the work, get in trouble, go to the office, they started bothering me, the principals, because the lady didn't clean the room that she was supposed to, and she wasn't cutting. So I was doing everything. So I was cleaning, but they tried to say that it wasn't clean enough. And I'm like, why aren't they yelling at her? She's supposed to be there. What is she doing? Besides nothing. But I think she was put in there as a spy. Here's my point. I looked up the affirmations and what is the problem with the hands. Why would I be having pains in the hands? And it was being scared because I'm a creative. Everything, my work was with my hands. I have to drive with my hands. Okay, you sort of need your spine too, but I have to drive with my hands. I have to create. I have to teach. And so I was getting resentful. I forget what the affirmation was, but I started saying it. And also it just, it went away. Like the cast that I would wear at night, in the middle of the night, I would get up and throw it across the room from my hand. It had some kind of cooling material in it. And my husband was Devin. He wasn't my husband then. He used to tell me, oh, you got to wear those braces that, the doctor told you about, because you're not getting the operation. I was like, I can't wear it. I don't like it. I just want it to be healed. And I am telling you, I am healed. I did heal myself. I also, of course, asked God a million times, to heal me as well. But I had to heal what the problem was. I was doing something in my mind where I was afraid that I was doing too much, and then that if something was wrong with my hands, then I wouldn't do it. Then I wouldn't be able to do it. So in a way, I was making myself have it. Okay? And by the way, I also had a lot of arthritis, in my spine. I had not EKGs. I forget MRIs on my neck and my back. And, what can you do about that? If you take too much Tylenol, you blow out your liver. So it's like a catch-20, I use heat, I use ice, I went to the chiropractor, I got massages. And I also did Louise Hay affirmations, meditation, okay? So with the hands, any problems with the hands, and with you, I see a flickering of your hand, like a tremor, and maybe one of your legs, but mostly in your hands. And so hands are for clutching and gripping, grasping and letting go, caressing and pinching. So we love with our hands. We hug, love, create, right? Especially you do the massage, right? So all ways of dealing with experiences through your hands. Affirmation is, I choose to handle all my experiences with love and joy, with ease. I choose to handle all of my experiences with love and with joy and with ease. I choose to handle all of my experiences with love, with joy, and ease. Okay? Before that, clutching and gripping and grasping and letting go and caressing and pinching, that's all ways of dealing. I know I just said that, but I'm trying to make you absorb it, and I'm absorbing it too. I mean, it sounds so simple, but okay. So carpal tunnel syndrome, it's in her book too. It has a lot to do with anger and frustration at life seeming injustices. Like I said, I had a problem with, I was forced to go work in this school, but thank God I got the job, right? Because other situations that went on. But the para that I was working with, I was used to working alone. I never had a para before. And the para that was there was not doing anything to help me. She was just staring at me. And then when I would have to tell her, sit with this group, and she would sit with them, but she wouldn't say anything to them. And it was like I had to teach the kids, but I had to teach her how to do it. And I was like, how is she a para all these years, but she's not doing it? And then I got resentful because then I get in trouble for the class not being clean. So I would stay after work and I would mop the floors myself, clean the tables myself. And then it was just so hard. It was like, so I realized the resentment was me feeling like I had to do so much with my hands. But meanwhile, I wanted to bring it back to, I also love with my hands. I also create with my hands. I hug and I receive handshakes and I receive high fives and I receive, help with these hands. Okay? So I know I'm sorry for making this so long, but it's important. So carpal tunnel syndrome, anger and frustration at life's seeming injustices. Any problem with the wrist is anger and frustration at life's seeming injustices. I just said that. Sorry, I wrote it down twice. And the affirmation is, and think about, where do I feel like, things aren't fair for me? Because that's not the right way to think. I used to always think that way. When is it going to be my turn? Why is life so unfair? Did my mother have to die when I was 19? Why did this happen and why did that happen? Why did I have to get divorced? Like I wanted to be a success story, And the thing is, you can't think like that. You have to think of the good things. You have to be happy and grateful. And responsible for your actions and responsible for your thoughts. I always tell that to Devin, like when we're driving, he has to be responsible to not curse people out every second. But he's like, but they're stupid, they don't know how to drive. I was like, no,